It's cheating.
I gotta do something. I gotta get back to the
You know, it's embarrassing because I work there literally a 15-second.
I know, I didn't even know that they did it.
Well, it's nice. It's almost across the street from me.
Ready to start?
So like, yeah,
7:01.
yeah, so I live over on Super Street.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like, it's almost, so it's literally like less than minutes.
Okay, we can start this meeting of the Montoursville Area School Board on Tuesday, January 10th at 7:01 PM. Madam Secretary, do you want to take the roll call?
Absolutely. Mr. Albert is absent. Mr. Badger.
Here.
Dr. Berry.
Here.
Dr. LaCrone.
Here.
Dr. Mathers.
Here.
Mr. Schimmel is absent this evening. Mr. Snow.
Here.
Mr. Ulmer.
Here.
And Mr. Young.
Here.
Thank you. I'd like you all to invite you all to stand and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any recognitions and presentations?
No, Miss Egan.
I'd like to recognize the decathlon team that did very well today. I read on Facebook. First place, then a second place, and 10 different medals. No, more than that.
Yeah, I think it's not for like that. And
10, 6 gold, 10 silver, and 2 bronze, right? That's what I wrote down.
Sheesh. That's
Very,
fantastic.
very good. Very good. Congratulations. Anything else?
Oh, I'd like to add mock trial competed at the Pittsburgh Cathedral Classic this past weekend. And Lucy Catino was recognized as outstanding witness for the tournament. Not only that, as I understand it, it was a perfect score. Both trials that she competed in. So congratulations to her.
Great.
Did I get that right, Mrs. Earl? All right.
Student representative presentation, anything for us?
I make myself easy for me. The only other thing that I would like to add is that I know that Caitlin Huntsberger made it to the PFPA. I'm probably wrong. But all I'd like to add.
Good, thank you. Okay, the next up is reading of the minutes. We have 2 meetings to approve the minutes for December 6th, a special meeting, and December 6th, the regular board meeting. Anybody have any corrections on those before I ask for approval? Okay, motion to approve,
Move to approve.
second,
Second.
any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Then we have a prior presentation, Pastor Joseph Shimko, but I don't see him here. Okay, so we'll have to skip that. Next up will be public comment on agenda items or whatever matters of concern, official action or deliberation before the board. Members of the public are invited for 3 unpaused minutes. We are on Zoom again today, so I will ask members present here to go first, and then I'll look on Zoom. And if you want to make a comment, please raise your hand and I will allow you to speak. So first, anybody present here want to speak? Come up to the podium and give us your name and address, please.
Jack Callahan, Maturzil, 113 Arch Street. I'm still on this kick about the mascot. Now, I think where he is out there in the hall is not an appropriate place, and I think you all feel the same way. And there's two suggestions. You either put him in that hallway. A lot of schools don't have a hallway like we do. Or you put him on the wall closest to the back of the school and put on there, you know, who he is and what he is, and so on. And now I've been to Bucknell. The Davis Gym down there has a buffalo head. You know, I've been to Hughesville just recently. And you go down the hall, they have a Spartacus guy about 7 foot tall. And I've been to Milton and they have the Black Panther. So I wish some of you people would give some of the other people some suggestions where possibly that could be moved. You know, where it is in the corner. That doesn't make it. And I'm not going to say anything more. I wish somebody else would pick up on and try to get an appropriate place for it. And, you know, the teachers, I think, spent good money. I don't know what they spent, but the old time teachers, I don't think it was any of the new teachers in that. And I think it should be in a better place than what it is. And I think it would look good right where the teachers warm up, or teachers, the cheerleaders warm up before the game and back on that thing. I also have, I'd like to see that volleyball taken into consideration. Some adults and some kids mentioned it, you know, to me. And it isn't like it's lacrosse or bowling or field hockey. I mean, nobody's gonna be in the gym at the time that volleyball is, the indoors. The tennis and the soccer teams are gonna be outside. And maybe some girls don't like contact, and they won't like the contact. They don't get it with volleyball. And it gives more girls an opportunity to play whatever. And my third thing is the track out there. I want to get that before where the weather breaks, when the people from the town can use the track. And and I talked to some lady that she runs and walks regularly. And the surface is right on our track. You go in the outer three lanes and whatever. And she mentioned she'd like to run the stairwells too in the track thing and that. I mean, so I'd like to get more hours in that. And then I don't know if they mentioned at the last meeting about the cheerleaders going to Dallas, Texas on the 19th for 4 days for competition down there. I don't know if there could be a send off here at the school or, you know, a special assembly for the cheerleaders and that, and wish them luck going to Dallas. And, you know, they raised, somebody said they raised all their own money and, you know, which is great. So that's about it. That's all that I have.
Thank you. I don't see anyone else coming up to the podium. If anybody online would like to speak, please raise your hand. And I don't see anybody raising their hand, so we can go on to the business manager's report.
You received copies of the treasurer's reports for the period ending December 31st, 2022 for the general fund and for the cafeteria fund. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration of approval.
Move to approve.
Any comments, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
No budgetary transfers, and you've received copies of the listing of invoices for the general fund and cafeteria fund for the period ending January 10th, 2023. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration of approval and for payment.
Move to approve. Second.
comments, discussion, questions? All those, oh, we have to do a roll call, please.
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Mr. Badger.
Yes.
Dr. Barry,
Yes.
Dr. LaCroix,
Yes.
Dr. Mathers,
Yes.
Mr. Schimmel absent, Mr. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Ulmer,
Yes.
and Mr. Young.
Yes.
And what's going on in the business office right now? The audit continues, unfortunately. I keep feeling like I keep saying, we're almost done, we're almost done. Well, trust me, I want to be done. We're still working on the single audit. We thought we were done and then we got a call today and it continues. We're gonna pull some more stuff in the next week here and keep working at this. I'm hoping that it is done very soon. I know you're all hoping, and trust me, I want it to be done too. So we're working on that. We're continuing to have Tyler training, continuing to work on getting all the pieces moving through on that because, you know, it's not complete yet because until you have a whole year in, there's always another process that you have to learn. Jess is starting to work on the quarterlies. She's doing quarterlies right now. And then after she gets quarterlies done, she will go on to the W-2s and be pulling from the old system into the new system to try putting those together. So there's lots of work to be done with that and just working on those kinds of things to keep everything kind of meshed together. Budget numbers coming together slowly, but you know, still waiting on final numbers for last year's, kind of holding things up a little bit there, but we have some numbers. Feasers did come in a little bit lower. I did not bring that number with me and I had planned to, but I'm sorry, I forgot to. It's a little bit lower, not a whole lot, which is kind of scary that it's lower because in all reality, you would think it should be still going up a little bit. And it's projected to go up again next year. So that was very interesting to see. And cafeteria is doing well. We are getting new food service director. She is joining us from East Lycoming School District. And she was here a couple days this week. Kristen got a promotion and she will be our regional. Part of me agreeing to let her not be our food service director was they promised me that she would go into, she would take our account over for now, and we are out for a new 5-year renewal. So we'll be working on a new 5-year renewal and going out to bid for food service here in the next month or so. So we're working on putting that together also at this time. I think that's pretty much what we have going on in the business office. So I'm hoping to come back again soon with these audit. But again, like I said, we thought we were close to wrap up today and we have more stuff.
Question.
at the polling.
The EIT seemed to be getting very close to budget. Is that a good sign at this point?
It is, I want to say about 2.5% over projection right now, so it's not a huge number. And EIT has a habit of, there's no pattern.
I thought maybe once tax season gets closer to its conclusion,
No,
there may be a bolus of,
it seems like you try to pick out patterns because I have EIT history for back probably 15 years. And you look, you know, every time I get the month, I look December last year, I compare it and I was like, oh, our number from last year to this year was much lower. But then I compare it to the year before and it's almost the same, but then I compare it to the year prior to that and it was a lot higher. Like it jumps all over. So there's never a pattern that you can really follow with it. But so I always look for us to stay right around 2% high, 2% low. So I'm saying that we're very close to hitting about what we hit last year.
Okay.
So, which was just over 4 million, which is just about what we budgeted.
Second question, are the auditors focusing on a particular area that they keep coming back?
The ESSER funds. It's the single audit that they're continuing, and the problem is, it's so new. So, they have to keep going back and interpreting things, getting, figuring out how it's supposed to be interpreted, and then, looking at the reports, making sure the reports are like the right reports. And checking to make sure the correct processes were followed. And there's a lot of back and forth of trying to look at things. So it takes longer. And it's not just our district. It's not. So
I'd ask you the question, but about 22, 23, quite likely we'll see the ESSERS fund.
almost gone.
Yeah.
It's.
So
there'll probably
hopefully,
be some
from an
summer
audit
stuff.
standpoint, we might get closer to
Yes, the
back
only,
on a normal track.
yes, the auditors said they would like to be closer to a normal audit next year. They made that comment that they don't like this either
Mhm.
because they're into their tax season. And so it's hard for them also because they're into tax season and they're trying to still do a school audit. So no one's enjoying it. It's just how it works with the program, and unfortunately, it was something, unpredictable. No one knew it was going to happen. The money just came out. A lot of the rules came out after the money was handed out. Money was spent before money was handed out, and it could be backdated. Like there was a lot of things that came with it. And then trying to figure out the rules, what could fall under it, what you could spend it on. And so then you have to look at everything and make sure it's all in line and make sure it's all coded properly. And
All school districts are experiencing this. I mean, it's not just
Yeah.
Montoursville.
no, yes. It's, and we'll get through it. It's not, and it's only a few years of it until something else happens. But
No, we don't.
How?
Yeah.
But it's always something new. But yeah, like I said, we'll get through it, and hopefully we'll have numbers soon and we can move forward with the process.
Thank you. Randy.
So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. For the superintendent report, we'll get reports from all of our principals, and we'll start and just go around the room.
Just for later, we're back to normal. It's good to have the kids back. They had a nice vacation break. And they came back ready to go last week. And so normally you never know, are we starting fresh or not? And boy, I mean, you would have walked in that first day, second day and thought we didn't have a break. So they were right on cue. We're doing a lot of mid-year assessments and do real well. We're also in the middle of our annual fourth grade geography meeting. So they did the first round. So we're later this week, next week will be into those next couple rounds trying to define who's going to be the 2023 champion. That's something that we've done that National Geographic doesn't offer anymore, but it's been a tradition here, and we kind of borrow some of their old materials and use some of our own as well, and keep that tradition going on. Also, while I'm on the stage here, we have to do in the summer I did a federal programs report and talked about what we were going to plan with our application this year. And one of those programs, Title IV, which is the smallest program, requires just a mid-year check-in. And again, just a reminder what we're using Title IV funding. We're transferring that into Title II. We've used that for a number of years to help with class size reduction. It helps us supplement the local monies and the state monies to pay for teacher salaries. This helps us with class size reduction. We could use it for a number of things, Like, you could do some for professional development, you could do some for like technology that has like really stringent rules on it. But we always found the biggest bang for our buck is helping keep our elementary class size as low as we can. It helps us not even pay for a full teacher. It's probably about 80%, Jeff, would you say? So, but again, that's a help to the district, you know, that we can, you know, help do that every year, right? Some districts get a lot more money, they're bigger districts, but that's what they end up being. Is there any feedback for me that I need to include at this point?
Thank you.
Go to Madam Vice President, about 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Myers.
I have to agree with Mr. Farrar. We're back in full steam ahead, ready for the rest of 2023. I want to congratulate our girls cheerleading team this Saturday. They performed really good. Past Saturday, they performed really well at the cheerleading competition. So congratulations to them. Our boys wrestling and basketball teams are doing extremely well. And my last shout out is to Mrs. Patty Confer. She facilitates the stock market challenge, and pleased to announce that Elijah Eck placed first place in the Lycoming County fall semester stock market challenge. So I anticipate spending a lot of time with Elijah helping. So congratulations to Elijah, Patty Confer, is a fantastic teacher. So we're ready to rock for 2023.
Great.
Thank you.
Mr. Brady.
I just want to basically spend my time thanking a lot of the community members, the students, and our teachers. December was busy, and we would spend a lot of time just getting Christmas baskets around for the community. And that would have been possible with the help of a lot of our community members and our parents. We were able to give out 22 Christmas baskets. I think we did 4 toy drives. The students brought in over 270 toys, so that we were able to give 28 different families presents for Christmas, so they had something to tree, which is nice, and then we donated the rest to the expectations for the Senate Women's Sport. So a lot of just community effort going into all this. I want to thank the Elgin Township Fire Department for bringing Santa Claus in on 22nd and the snowstorm that it brought into. So, super nice. Shout out to Mr. Farrar and both of our PTOs for putting on a holiday event at Lighter. It was a free event where it came out, hot chocolate, Santa was there, a couple of reindeer were there. So it was a nice little community event. And then that's about it. We're just rolling as usual. 2023 year. So.
Mr. Blaze is trying to get Santa and the reindeer to bring him an extra present. I think it was a little fair to his family.
Okay, Mrs. Albert, do you have anything to add?
Well, as I experienced my first band and choral and dance at the middle school, so those were very interesting. I used all those high school things, but had a lot of fun with that. And also I'm just impressed with our students and faculty and all the giving over the holiday season and just, just the fun, and they did so much to just make it exciting for everyone. So shout out to the student council members and the stoppers that we handle that, but they did White Elephant, they did Candygrams, they did the dance, Miss Comfort and her club, they did all our food baskets in the beginning. So always impressed by it.
That's great. Sebastian, do you have anything for us?
I do not have anything new to report today.
Thank you. Mr. Hanner.
Yeah, our early intervention transition meetings are scheduled. They'll be on February 14th and February 15th. The transition meetings, the main purpose of the meetings is really for us to learn about the students that will be transitioning from early intervention services to school age services, so we can ensure that the proper supports are all in place for those students when the school year starts here. Another thing that's going on is the Pennsylvania Alternate System of Assessment registration has begun. We have 14 students within the school district that will be taking that assessment. Our staff has been trained already for that. They completed the training for that today. And the testing window is from March 13th to May 5th. And then I just wanted to talk about our sign language after-school program that's happening at Lighter. Mrs. Susan Wood, our educational sign language interpreter, she last year worked with a lot of our students at Lighter and did a lunch bunch for them. And this year, what she's doing is working the after-school program. During the fall, she worked with about 30 students, kindergarten through second grade, and worked with them on learning various skills. She taught them, I believe it was the alphabet, the colors, basic conversational skills, and they also learned various holiday vocabulary, and they actually, she sent me a video of them singing one of the Christmas songs, which was really cute. So she also had each student develop their own sign language journal, and then has developed a Google Classroom. So the students that were part of that during the fall can access that Google Classroom and still learn more during the spring as well. She is hoping that during the spring, she's going to be able to offer this programming to our 3rd and 4th grade students at Lighter. And there's quite a bit of, when she started this, she didn't realize how popular this would be. And the kids are really, really interested in it. And she's just so excited that they not only want to learn the skills so they can communicate with the students within Lighter, but also possibly there are a couple students that are like, you know what, that's what I want to do when I grow up.
That's
So
neat.
it is really neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's something everybody can learn, can use.
Yeah, and I think the earlier you are when you're learning it, the easier it is.
That's awesome. Thank you. Mr. T,
Nothing to add.
nothing to add. Okay. Well, then we'll go on to the agenda items. And I'd like, if nobody has any objections for the general, to combine G1 through G9.
Is that an objection?
No objections, then can I have a
My name
motion
tag
to
objects.
approve G1 through G9?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second, okay. Any questions or discussion? Okay, not hearing any, and those in favor say aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. G1 through G9 approved. For personnel, I would like to combine P1 through P9, unless there are any objections.
There's a change to P9.
Oh, yes, thank you. With P9, we will delete Christopher Morgan from that line.
I have a question on P8.
Okay. Well, did we have to get a motion to approve them first, right?
Yeah.
A motion to approve P1 through P9.
Move to approve.
Okay, now your question.
P8, are we looking to replace that position?
Currently being advertised, yes.
Thank you.
I have a question on P9. Freshman class advisors on there twice.
It's 2 positions. She's taking both. Nobody else stepped up. She's doing twice the work.
Is anybody looking to try to get somebody else to help her out? Instead of having her do both positions?
But they've tried.
Because I've, not only did I notice that, and now you've told me that's 2 positions, but it's also a new teacher. I don't understand why nobody else comes forward to give her a hand. She does have a mentor.
At $221, it's people have learned over the years, it's not worth it.
You know what, actually, I think I was advised by our attorney not that we weren't supposed to have questions on personnel. So is that your question answered, but otherwise we're not supposed to discuss personnel. So can I take a vote? Everybody in favor of approving P1 through P9, say aye.
All right,
Opposed? The motion passed. And then P10, I separated just because, so that we can recognize the retirement of 3 teachers that have over 35 years each almost, for all 3 of them. So can I have a motion to approve P10?
Move to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
all right.
Opposed? I just want to thank those teachers for their years of service. Okay. So P10 is passed. Transportation, do I have a motion to approve T1?
Move to approve.
Second. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
All right,
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion approved. And then policies, P1, approval of the retirements of the following policies. Can I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve. Second.
Questions, comments? I have one question. Just as I was looking at the policies that replace these, 103 and 104, they're titled discrimination/sexual harassment. So if I was looking for a policy for just unlawful harassment that wasn't sexual in nature, I don't know that I know where to go for it, but it's in there. Can we think, I'm looking at you, Dr. Lacone, as you're in charge of the policy committee. Can we think about maybe just renaming that to include unlawful harassment?
We can talk about that.
Okay, thank you. We didn't vote on that yet, did we? No. Okay, all those in favor of P1, PY1, say aye. Opposed? Motion approved. Okay, that ends our agenda items. So committee reports then. I don't have anything to report for the TSBA. Dr. Lacone, policy.
I don't have anything else to report this meeting.
Thank you. Dr. Beery.
No, there was no IU meeting in December.
No, okay. And Mr. Schimmel's not present for LCTC, but he did send us some information via email. Mr. Ulmer, you want to do your 3?
Memorial Gardens, we continue to accept any donations that come in. And really, we're at a point where work cannot be continued until the spring on the project, but I have to say it's close to 90% completed. So.
How's the fundraising going for it?
Pardon?
Do we still need a lot of money for it?
We're continuing to accept donations. Let me put it that way. We have raised the funds necessary to cover the cost of the project. So the fundraising we're doing now is being used to enhance the perpetual care fund.
Okay.
So but the committee itself is fairly inactive at this point. Although Mr. Weaver is going to be speaking to the Majorsville senior citizens next week. So,
Okay.
as far as the budget, Randy's already reported, and will it be February where you'll start to establish a timetable, Randy, to?
As soon as we get, as soon as we know when this audit's gonna be done.
Yeah, okay. And for the foundation, just had a meeting last night. The focus of the foundation, I think, in 2023 is going to be searching to find ways that we can enhance the process of getting requests from faculty to the foundation. Because there's funds there, and it can take two routes. One, of course, is the earned income tax credit, which is more designed for a business. And that also has much more stringent guidelines that you have to meet. They deal a lot in the STEM areas. The other route, it can involve equipment that teachers were unable to procure during the normal process from the district. It could be if they wanted to bring a special teacher or a speaker in, for a class or for a day. It's a relatively simple form that needs to be filled out, but we're just looking to try and make sure that it's as simple as it can be. And I think our president is going to be reaching out to at least certainly speaking with the administration, but I think we'd like to meet with the principals to see if they can help us at all find a process that we can, supply information to teachers. And I know I mentioned that, the subject areas have department heads, and a lot of times decisions are made when it comes to equipment time. That department head is very involved and would see all the requests, I think, coming through from, let's say, science. Well, if there's things that can't get funded, there is another pathway. And as I say, there's money available, and the foundation would love to spend it. But we need to know where the need is. Amen.
Thank you.
I would add to the EITC portion of what the foundation does. We are about wrapped up with the lighting for the Black Box Theater. That was through EITC funds, funneled through the foundation. They're installing that truss work next month. So we'll be looking to have an event to thank the foundation for their efforts. Because that one's winding down and wrapping up, you will be receiving other projects from the district that will qualify for the EITC funds. One of which is going to be out in the Tech Ed building. As we find difficulty in filling that position out there, it may require some retooling and rethinking of what we do, but still maintaining the hands-on approach that building provides our students. So there will be other projects coming the foundation's way for EITC funding, but it's very powerful. It comes in nice chunks of money. We're able to get some things done that we can't normally support in the district. So very vital partnership for us. So thank you.
And if I might come back in, we are still looking for community volunteers. There's just a small handful of community folks that are doing it. It's not a lot of work. It's about one meeting a month, but we need ideas and we need some fresh energy. So even if you yourself aren't interested, if you know a friend or again, someone else in the community that would like to get involved with the foundation, please let me know. Mr. Mike Musto is our president. Let him know. We just would welcome a couple more voices at the table.
Thank you very much for taking that on too. Mr. Albert, Building and Grounds.
I have nothing to report.
Mr. Badger, extracurriculars.
Yeah, Jack, actually, just want to let you know specifically, I reached out to Mr. T earlier, was it last week? I think it was, the athletic director, Melissa, and Mr. Johnson. We're going to try to meet up maybe this week or early next week to talk about volleyball. So, yeah, so hopefully we're just going to kind of explore some options and just kind of see what the competition is like, how far they got to travel and all that stuff. So if we can add that, that's absolutely something that
Yeah, if I can
support.
have any input, not that I have any, but I know there's actually people that want it. There is actually a coach here at the school
Yep, I think we may have talked to the same people.
Who's your
Yeah,
coach,
you
Jack?
think you have access to startup money?
Okay.
I heard that you would possibly do it. I didn't, not a guarantee, but possible.
If you can find some startup money too, that'd be great. If you can find some startup money too, that'd be great.
Foundation has some.
How's the IRA, Jack?
I can't hear, I'm getting.
Yeah, you couldn't hear.
Yeah, your IRA, Jack.
Well played. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, anybody have anything else they want to discuss before we go to public comment?
I just have one thing, and I didn't plan on bringing this up, but Mr. Callahan got up and spoke again. And we all have heard the same thing coming from Mr. Callahan about Rootenham. I think that Mr. Callahan deserves an explanation or an answer why or why not it can be moved or it can't be moved. One way or another, I think he deserves that answer. He has brought that up at, I can't even, I don't have enough fingers to count the meetings that he's brought that up. So I do think that he deserves an explanation, if nothing else. If it doesn't get moved to his satisfaction, at least he needs an explanation why it can't be moved.
We'll bring, Jack, we'll have one for you at the next meeting you're at. Okay?
Fine.
It will either be moved or we'll give you reasons why.
He survived Hollywood Circle when he got beat up. But now he's back, so he deserves not to be pushed in the corner.
Well, and I just wanted to clarify, because you had mentioned that the names were painted over on the Indian Head murals.
No, the teachers, paid for by the teachers or something, there was a little gold plate, and there's still an indentation where the plate was.
No, you were upset that the artists' names
Oh,
were
yeah,
painted
that-
over
that
in
on
the
wall,
gymnasium.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are not. They are actually, the names are scribed in the paintings themselves.
Oh, on the. okay,
So they
on
are
the
there.
wall.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
gotcha.
yep. The painters did
That's
not paint
fine,
over
that's fine.
the names,
Yeah.
so those are still
But I
there.
noticed that some places, when they knock the paintings out like that, down Wilkes-Barre or someplace down there, they have the artist's name and they try to say that, and, you know, and, whatever, you know, you could compare that to how it, I think in Shea Stadium, Willie Stargell's home run, they had number 8, they took the whole plaque, the whole piece down. And when he knocked, went almost out of the stadium. So that means something. I mean, they, you know, they just don't. They try to say the, you know, the artist's name and so on, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, and is the explanation for the track not being open to the public that just with new regulations about clearances that,
Yeah, that's safety and security. It is open in the summer. When our maintenance staff is here, so
Okay.
essentially 7 to 3, the track's open in the
Okay.
summer, the stadium is.
but during the
But-
school
but
year,
During the school year,
it just can't be?
that's tough for us to do because when the weather's nice, our kids are out there, so.
Yeah, but they're only out there during school. I've been to tracks down in Harrisburg and Philadelphia. And they allow the public.
But they're out there at practices, they're out there at games, there would be be difficult to know. It's not like Loyal Sox track, but that's all it is sitting there. That's the stadium in addition to track, so.
That stadium can use, so people get out, sit in the bleachers and enjoy the sun and just sit out there and whatever. And I saw it. And for people that like to drink beer, if they go out there regularly for 3 or 4 months, they can stay out and have a couple of beers and it won't pay
Or if they want to lose a pant size, they can lose a pant size too. I mean, things work, not just for me, but I mean, I know it worked for a lot of other people wherever I was at. Wherever I was at.
Okay, so let's move on to public comment then. Well, again, 3 minutes uninterrupted. We'll take those present first and then those online.
Yeah, I just have, I was over there at a basketball game with a friend of mine and we mentioned, where's that Coca-Cola Golden Helmet Award? This is the one where they would put the back and the lineman on a plaque underneath the golden helmet. And it used to be at that small case as you go down to the locker rooms. I don't know where it was, but it wasn't up to date. And I'd like to see somebody put it up to date if it can be found. And whether it be the football coaches or what, I don't think they would mind. They probably would know right off the hand who the lineman and who the back was. All right, so, and I'd also like to see this one trophy, basketball, 1948 West Branch champs. That's the year I was born. It's only a little trophy, but it's beautiful. And I hope it didn't disappear. And I'd also like to see the track records put up there. This is hard. I was over at the middle school and I saw the records up there for their kids that did certain things at the girls and boys, and that was almost up to date. And maybe it was up to date because nobody broke some of the records. But that would be nice to see too. And then I heard a rumor that Maturzo's band was down to the Wilkes-Barre Baby Pens game to play the national anthem. Does anybody know anything about that?
Not this year, that was prior to COVID, I believe.
I think there's a trip planned. I don't think they went down.
Oh, they didn't go down. Okay, there's a pretty good ice cream place down there. People from Maturzo own it, so. All right, I also want to find out about the State Farm Show. Do we have anybody down to State Farm Show?
They went down today.
Today they were entered in some of the stuff? Oh,
I think they just went to see.
Oh, some years they're entered in some of the stuff. Yeah, they should, they'll come back smelling sweet. I know how that is. Also, I'd like to wish everybody good luck on the Mega Ball tonight. I know if somebody would win that, I wouldn't see it, so whatever. And I want to bring back, I don't want to bring back, but I want to say at one time at the middle school, they had intramurals. You know what that is? They assigned each teacher an intramural, something to do. A friend of mine, Jim Cummings, he was a teacher over there then, and I knew some of the other teachers. And I don't know how well that went over or for how many years they did it, but they tried. And so got the kids, whatever, but I mean, they tried. So I don't know what people's thoughts on intramurals. I know the kids like the real thing, if they can't, they're not in it to win. They don't want to do it. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the room? Anybody online? Please put your hand up if you'd like to speak. Okay, I don't see that. So unless anybody has any other questions, I take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All those in favor, say aye.
Just like to tease a little.
It doesn't seem right. There's something wrong.